Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo.
Welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me, as always, is Todd Stark.
Hello.
And we have a guest joining us for our big E3 recap show. She is a Twitch affiliate and humble partner who is a self-professing lover of books and kung fu movies.
Nice.
Please welcome to the Palace of Megapixels, JadeSilk.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing today?
I am great. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty good. It's been a crazy week. So, Jade, if you would, tell everyone who's listening a little bit about yourself.
So, like you already said, I am JadeSilk. I am a Twitch and Mixer streamer, and I absolutely love kung fu movies. It's what I grew up on. I love Chinese culture, comic books. I pretty much love everything about pop culture, nerd culture, all of it.
That's the best kind.
That's good stuff. How did you actually get into game streaming?
It actually wasn't initially my idea. I just love playing games. Mm-hmm. And my girlfriend was really wanting to stream, and she couldn't. So she decided that she was going to live through me.
Okay.
But I have a master's in marriage and family therapy, and just my passion in life is really like helping people and just creating a space for people where they can feel really safe and like enjoy themselves in a very vulnerable way. And it turns out that streaming is a great way to do that.
Yep.
That's true. That is true. I never really thought of it like that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That is true. Now, is there a main focus of games that you actually like to play on your streams?
I love FPS. Mm-hmm. And anything like competitive. Right now I'm really obsessed with Rainbow Six Siege. That's my jam. I like a little PUBG as well. And I love a really, really good story.
Yes.
So, yeah. And I like games that challenge me too. So sure. A little bit of Dark Souls, a little bit of Last of Us, just a variety.
I don't know if I could do Dark Souls. Bloodborne was bad enough. I've seen everybody playing it. It just kills me. It kills me. Now, are there any issues that you experience as a streamer on a regular basis? Anything that comes up?
I think streaming is really interesting because people tend to feel like they have a relationship with you without you realizing that you may have a relationship with them. Right. It's kind of a one-sided relationship because people get to see you. They have this insight into your life on a daily basis, but you don't really get that kind of information from them. And I feel like that's the biggest struggle is sometimes it's hard to it's hard to find, I guess, the boundary where what is this person actually trying to say to me? A lot of people really like to share very personal things about their life, and that's a heavy burden in itself for a streamer to carry. But also, it's hard to read text and know exactly the tone that someone is taking.
Right, I agree. That's it. I would definitely agree with you there. I've seen people on streams who do that, who will share information, and you don't know how to take it at first. You're like, are you trolling me? Or are you trolling the streamer? Or are you just...
Yeah.
Are you that type of person that likes to overshare things? I mean, it's
all kinds of people.
Yeah, it's information that you're just like, what does that have to do with this at the moment? I'm not really sure.
I just had to get it off their chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what goals do you have as a streamer, I guess, outside of just trying to create a safe space for people to be in?
I do want to be partnered. I would love to just develop my voice in the gaming industry. I think I certainly look up to and admire a lot of female voices in the game industry right now. I think there are a lot of very powerful women that have a lot of important things to say. And I think we're coming to an advent where a lot of women are becoming protagonists in games.
Yeah.
And there's a divide in the gaming community where people don't really know some people don't know how to handle it, and some people are really excited about it.
I love it.
And I would like to be able to just put some important stuff out there, just
Sure.
as a streamer, as a gamer in general. I would like my voice to be something that people look for and listen to.
I'm actually so glad you said that, because that's going to be something we bring up in this conversation today, since it seemed to be huge this week. Several times it came up. So I'm perfectly glad you brought that up, because it's going to be brought up several times, I'm sure. Last question I have for you. Big question. Twitch or Mixer?
Oh, I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Well, I've
just
seen this
started.
divide, and it's got me curious.
I just started streaming on Mixer, and it is such a very different experience from Twitch. I love Twitch. Twitch has my heart. It always will. It's where I started, and it is my first exposure to what streaming was and what building a community is. And I think that is something that Twitch, no one can take that from Twitch.
Sure.
They are in the forefront of showing everyone what like gaming on the internet live and live streaming is. Mixer, on the other hand, is very new still, and it's really nice to see how that community is shaping. It's a very, very inclusive and welcoming community. I just started streaming I've done maybe 4 streams on Mixer, and the people that I have met already have been incredible. I mean, I'm talking like the top streamers in categories hosting just streamers that are playing the same game. It doesn't matter about your size or anything. And so I really like that about Mixer so far as well. I think they both have something great to offer.
Okay. Yeah, I've been curious. I know that Twitch has gotten a lot of flack here lately, and I didn't know what it was from. I mean, can you actually elaborate on that just a little bit? I mean, what's been going on with Twitch that's kind of got people giving them a little backlash?
I think Twitch, so when Twitch initially started as Justin TV, they were very much how Mixer is right now. And as Twitch has grown, they almost seem like they've gotten a little bit corporate. They promote streams that are really big, and which is great, because those streams, again, it's important that what Twitch does, because they're I guess they're showing more people. They're giving gaming and live streaming more of an exposure, which is important for this industry as a whole.
Right.
But it almost seems to a point where they're focusing a little too much on that and forgetting the little guys.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for Twitch, for small streamers like me, to get lost, because there's so many big streamers that keep just getting bigger. And it's really hard for smaller streamers to grow. And we're just as passionate,
Yeah,
smaller
exactly.
streamers are just as passionate as the big guys. And we just want to get there. And I think that's part of it. And the other part of it is like rule enforcement. There have been some very toxic things that have happened on Twitch, and people want to see more of that down-to-earth response from Twitch, but Twitch gives more of a business response. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. It depends on the perspective, I guess.
Right. I agree.
You think since Amazon bought Twitch, do you think that's got something to do with the corporate feel?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like we went through the same thing. I mean, we had a family-owned business, and then we bought out by a bigger company, and they kind of forced stuff on you, I guess.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference. I mean, it's just not what it used to be. So,
Right.
I can totally see it being the Amazon corporate model that's starting to shape what Twitch is becoming, and it's going to hurt it.
It hurts it and helps it, because it's reaching things that they never was going to reach before because of the money they have now. But it hurts that small feeling that it always had.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. One last question, and this is for everybody, but you will start first, Jade. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? So I am obsessed with Rainbow Six Siege right now. I was a huge Modern Warfare 2 fan. I had 89 full days played on that game. That's a lot of time. I really love learning the ins and outs of a game, and Rainbow Six Siege gives that to you, and you get to do that over and over and over again with a different operator. But on the other side of things, I've also been playing some Graveyard Keeper, which is kind of like a dark twist on Stardew Valley. It's a cemetery management, and it is really good. Right now it's an alpha, and it is looking like it's going to be great.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I saw you tweeted something about that, and I was kind of curious as to what that was. But Stardew Valley in a graveyard?
I'm in. Just
Interesting,
the graveyard. You had me at graveyard.
That's definitely different. You don't hear about that, so that's pretty awesome. Todd, what have you been playing?
I'm still kind of just, slowly making it through Detroit Become Human. This week, I've been busy watching everything with E3 and just I didn't play a lot, but I played a little bit.
Yeah. I'm obsessing over God of War right now. I'm getting
It's
to
beautiful.
a point where
It's
I
a
just
beautiful
love
game.
to explore, and I've got all these areas I want to explore. I'm probably doing things I probably shouldn't be doing at this point in time.
No, that's the thing. You do it whenever you want to.
I fought a Valkyrie, and I was like, this seems like a bad idea, but why not? I'm going to do it.
Did you win?
I beat one.
Yeah.
And then I fought another one. I was like, all right, I'm not doing this right now.
Dude, I remember I did the same thing. I got to one point where I beat one. And I was like, oh my God, that was not as bad as I thought. So I go to the next one, like 3-shot killing me. I didn't even hit it one time, and it's just killing me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, okay, I'm backing off now.
So you learn your lessons. You're like, well, okay, I'll come back to that at some point.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our big E3 coverage, I guess is what we're going to call it.
Just like Christmas, it came and went.
Yeah.
Half Christmas is gone.
And I've got it laid out to where we're just going to hit on as many companies as we can, and we'll just talk about what they did and whatnot. And we'll get the worst of the worst out of the way first. Yeah. We'll get EA
I took notes
started.
with a pencil, too.
Some of their announcements that they did, one in particular was their Origin Access Premiere announcement, which is kind of an addition to their backlog service that they have right now, which is a lot like the Game Passes and the PlayStation Now. But this is actually going to act more like the Xbox Game Pass, where they're offering up new games immediately as they're released to the public. Now, I didn't quite get a price tag on this. Did either of you hear one?
I didn't hear one.
So I'm going to assume it can't be worse than the $10 that Microsoft, because then you're just asking for no one to care.
I feel like I remember something about a $99 for a year, but I don't think that was that. I can't remember.
It's still not. I mean, it's really not bad.
No, it's not bad
for a year, and you're getting new games as they come out. But again, we're talking about EA. So
I think I'm totally wrong about that. So don't believe what I just lied about what I heard.
Okay, fair enough. This one will actually be something that kind of brings up the topic you brought up earlier, Jade. Battlefield 5. There was announcement of, there's going to be the new game, the Battle Royale. Yet there was this backlash that came with it because the women characters in the game.
I don't understand it. I don't understand why anybody wants to fight about that.
It just seems like a trivial thing to get mad over.
It is.
I agree.
I mean, they're not forcing you to play this character.
No, you can pick either one.
So why are you getting mad? You don't have to play that character.
It's like getting pissed because the bathroom has a boy and a girl on it.
Yeah. Why are you getting mad? It's still for you.
Yeah, you go in that one, they go in that one.
Open inclusion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
So
yep.
I don't get it. And
it's really strange. It's almost to a point where, like, some people, because it's not the whole gaming community. It's just some people that, and they're just it's almost like they feel almost like women are intruding on their space or something in a way, because they're putting a female on the cover of a game that they love. That's the only explanation I could give.
But there are so many great female protagonists in games.
Oh, yeah.
What is one more hurting for this game? It's not hurting anything. You've got Lara Croft, you've got Aloy, you've got Ellie. You've got so many good ones out there.
She's the chick Rick Grimes.
Who?
Ellie. She's awesome, dude.
I don't know. This won't be the last time we bring it up. Another announcement they made, and it was an actual release, was Unravel 2. And I saw you were streaming that the other day, Jade. How was it?
It's really cute. I was playing it 2-player with my girlfriend, and it is adorable. It's the puzzles are so, they're not super complex, but they make you sit there for a little while and try to figure it out. But you really have to work together.
Nice.
It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I played the first one, and I was a fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would like to play more of this. So to see that announcement, I got excited.
Well, I just like the story that's going on in the background.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the most unique part. You got this little platformer that, to me, feels like Little Big Planet. Now, how's the new one feel? Because it looked even more like Little Big Planet. Or the feel, not the look. But what do you think? Does it play like Little Big Planet?
I didn't play that much of Little Big Planet, to be honest with you.
Right.
But it does, sort of, yeah. I could see that. Mm-hmm. It's a platformer. Little Big Planet was kind of like a cooperative platformer, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Now available for anybody who wants to go and get it now. I definitely want to get it as soon as I can. Some announcements that absolutely no one cared about were for Madden and NBA and FIFA. And did you actually see the FIFA announcement?
Dude, that was that was the thing that I got in there 5 minutes late. I missed the Battlefield trailer, and they've got a trophy on stage.
Yeah.
And these two dudes are just coming out, and it's just ridiculous. I'm like, nobody cared. I mean, like, I know
they
people care
didn't.
about that.
It was just like, you can get FIFA on this date. No one clapped. No one said anything.
None.
And they were it's like they were waiting for it, and they're like, and you can play this game right now. Nobody said anything.
And this
It's
ain't
like,
Europe.
just
You know what I'm saying?
Keep going, man. We don't care. So it just cracked me up.
They should have done it like they did Madden. Just show a trailer and go on, and show some of these other games that they just kind of talked about.
Yeah, because these games, it's the same thing every year. So you don't have to sell it any more than that. If you're in already.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep, agreed.
This E3 was full of there was that one point in every show where I was like, what in the hell
are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, Andrew W. We'll talk about that later, but this one was the weird interview about the new Star Wars game.
Oh,
out in the crowd. It was horrible.
Yeah,
with
go ahead and
Respawn.
bring that up right now. It was here too. It was just, why even bother bringing that up?
Yeah.
If you have nothing to show.
Nothing.
You could have just said that somewhere else, but you made this big deal out of an interview just to say we're making a new Star Wars game.
And he just said, yeah.
And
yeah. And shook his head like 5 times.
Yeah. It seemed pointless. Whatever.
They shouldn't have even said that name.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have even said Star Wars like at this point.
There was while we're on the subject of Star Wars, there was the announcement for a Clone Wars expansion for Battlefront 2.
Not going to play it.
I have no interest in Battlefront 2 at all. And I love Star Wars.
I love the old Battlefield games. I mean, Battlefront games.
Mm-hmm. It kills me. And finally, there was a Anthem.
Now, I will say that game just shows off great, and everything I've heard about it, the flying, the gunplay in it, just nothing bad has been said about it. Mm-hmm. So that's one that I was excited for.
Yeah, it was from BioWare, for anyone that doesn't know. Should be out on February 22nd. And they have said, or I guess they said during the presentation, no loot boxes.
None.
No PvP.
Yeah, none.
And then no offline mode.
No, yeah, you're always online, but it seemed like they were gonna have cosmetics for your thing, for your javelins, what they call them. I guess they're gonna have cosmetics for those, and then everybody kind of jumps down in this world, and I guess everybody kind of started thinking of the same thing I did. It was like Destiny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way they want to bring this world about, and supposedly the world changes all the time. Every time you go back, the world could be totally different than it was when you were there. And I kind of like that idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting concept.
They said it felt like you were an Iron Man, pretty much. So I'm all in for being Iron Man. That got me right there.
Yeah. Was there anything else from EA that you could think of?
Sea of Solitude.
Sea of Solitude. See, I remember hearing about that, and I missed knowing that.
I'm in on that one as soon as it comes out. It's I got A Way Out, been playing it. That was the game they kind of featured last year. And this year they brought this one out. I can't remember the name of who makes it. It was one lady talking. She was kind of out of breath. You could tell she was real passionate about it, but she was extremely nervous.
Right.
But she did. The game looked beautiful. I can't wait to play it. It just looks awesome.
I love how it looks. It's so out of the ordinary, a totally different take, and like a very artistic approach. And it just looks very interesting. It's funny because the trailer revealed nothing about a story or anything. Like, I still don't know what the heck that game is about.
Either.
but looking at it aesthetically, it looks so good.
See,
Yeah,
that's
it
how
did.
they get you. If you can get a trailer that just looks that good, it's always a great selling point, especially for a game. So I'm down for it.
I mean, Kojima's made a living on it.
Oh yeah. If that was all for EA that no one can think about, I'm going to move on.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Is that it? Because I did a lot of research trying to make sure I hit every single point, but there were so many games, and some of them didn't even seem worth mentioning. So I don't know. Well, I'm hoping I got all the big ones.
And just one thing, you were wrong about Madden 19. Some people care about that game.
Okay, well that's you.
I like that game. Back
fair
off,
enough.
Madden 19. Now you can make fun of FIFA all you want.
All right, I did.
Okay.
That's the one I was talking about. No one cared. The next company I had was Bandai Namco.
I don't even know anything about
I only
this.
really had two games that they really talked about. One was, I guess, their big one that they showcased was Soul Calibur 6. It comes out October 19th. The only thing that I saw as a selling point was Geralt.
Yeah.
I saw nothing else to really make me go, I want to play that.
It's Soul Calibur. It's got its following, you know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
I guess that's good. I think I've only played the second one.
I haven't played any of them.
I think that one well, the only reason I played the second one is it was I think it came out on the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and what was it, Xbox, I guess.
Was that the one where they had Link?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I played it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, cool. I
So
get to
that
play as
makes you
Link.
want to play it, you know,
Yeah,
kind of like
everybody else got some third-rate character.
God of War was on Kratos was on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I was in as soon as they said Kratos. I was like, God damn it!
Yeah. Why
I'm gonna
not?
get this game now.
The other one that they talked about was Jump Force, which was another fighting game that they had, but that's crossover with all the Shonen Jump characters from the animes.
Was that Naruto? What Naruto and
Naruto,
Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball. I can't remember the character's name, but he's from One Piece.
Oh yeah, I seen it. His face is weird. Their animations in their face.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of recognize them from something else.
I think the big selling point for a lot of people, and I found this out today, which is I think going to disappoint a lot of people, is at the end of the trailer they showed Light and Ryuk from Death Note, only to come to find out that they are not playable characters.
They're part of the story.
So that's
Wow.
kind of a letdown. You know?
It's downloadable content.
Well, no, they said they're just not playable characters.
Yet, then it's DLC. They are playable, and you $19.99.
Nah.
Throw it down on the table now.
Well, that's ridiculous. But there was no release date or word of exclusivity since it was shown on the Microsoft stage, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming it'll be on all consoles.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a live with PlayStation, and they were doing that game on there. So
Okay.
I think I seen that.
So nothing big there. The next big show happened to be Square Enix. They had a few
The
mentioning.
worst. That to me, that was the worst one.
I heard that. I heard a lot of people. It was a toss-up between them and EA.
Yeah, and EA's just cause they're pompous jerks. I think.
The first one, I guess their big showcase, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which comes out on September 14th. There was this one with the jungle stealth, which I guess you get to blend in now with your environment, which couldn't you? I mean, there was stealth combat in the other games, were there not? Am I mistaken? Kind of, sort of?
Was it?
Like you sneak around, hang out from trees or something like that? I feel like I remember something like that.
Yeah. Well,
don't
no.
remember
You could get in the weeds, kind of like on Uncharted.
Okay, yeah. So how is this any different?
What, she covered herself in mud?
I guess, or
Is that what you're talking about?
the trees, gets up behind a tree, does some Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator.
Yeah. Well, I seen. Somebody said you could smother mud on yourself and hide from the predator.
Okay.
Or
Just
the
like
people
that.
looking for you, yeah. Well, I seen her in the thing. She did it, and she leaned up against that wall, you know. So
Yeah.
I imagine that's what they're talking about. Who knows? But
mean-
I've heard that game's pretty good.
I didn't. Don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say here. It didn't look like there was anything new.
That
Per se.
honestly, the people that have played it, the ones that I've listened to talk about it, say it's just more Tomb Raider with a different story.
Okay,
And that's okay. I
I'm
like that
fine with
story.
It just there was nothing about it that made me say, "Oh man, this is completely different from the last one that I played." You know, I can't wait. It was just like, okay, I'll play that at some point
Yeah.
for sure. Kingdom Hearts 3, we had that big announcement. Well, not that I guess the big announcement was its release date. Finally got one, January 29th.
That was kind of shocking that it came out before the press conference, you know. Well, I guess they did it at Microsoft, didn't they? But it came out even before then.
They did one at Microsoft. They did one at Sony's.
Yeah.
There were quite a few times that we got to see and hear about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
I guess as far as did they show any new worlds outside of the Pirates of the Caribbean world is a returning world that they have not shown yet.
What about Tangled?
I feel like they mentioned Tangled before now.
Yeah, they have. I knew about it before.
And
then.
Frozen, yeah.
Frozen.
I'm pretty sure they mentioned that. It seemed a lot of their newer animated movies seem to be getting top billing this time.
Yeah, from what I understood, that's exactly the way they wanted to go.
And I'll be honest with you, I kind of feel like the only reason they went back to the Pirates of the Caribbean was to showcase how well they could render faces now. Because they look pretty awesome. I mean, you compare it to the last one, it's like, okay, it kind of has a likeness to Johnny Depp or these characters, but now it really looks like them. You're like, that's so awesome now. So I kind of feel like that's the only reason they even did that. And I'm not even sure why they went back to Hercules' world, Olympus, other than to bring back Hades, because everybody loves Hades.
I hope James Woods.
James Woods. I really hope he's coming back. I mean, it would be a shame not.
That whole trailer was just so weird.
Yeah.
It was.
Like, the music was weird. It just didn't seem enticing at all.
That's what I said. We said the same thing.
I would agree, because I feel like this game has been a long time coming, and I want to be excited about it, but I wasn't. I was just like, okay. There's that game. I guess I'll play it at some point. So I'm hoping that at some point my excitement levels will rise. I guess they're just really going to sell me with something big, like a Star Wars or a Marvel characters kind of snuck in just to say, but Disney does own this too. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not as hyped as I want to be, but what is that? January 29th? That's 7 months.
It was funny that she said it, because we said the same thing. I said, man, I just am not. I felt the music was weird too. It kind of felt like that Kanye West Assassin's Creed trailer. Like it did not fit together. Kind of threw me all out of the thing. So I texted him. I said, dude, this is not as exciting as it should be.
Well, they had to showcase their new theme song, like the other. Yeah. From the same artist who wrote the two main theme songs to the other games. They had to showcase that. I'm sure that's what that was.
Oh, okay.
So. Just Cause 4, they announced. Looks insane. Yeah. I've never played any of the.
You've never?
I've got Just Cause 3.
I'll play that, dude.
On PlayStation, I just have yet to play it.
It's good. It's fun. It's like the fun part is not even. I mean, the story's okay, but it's a huge sandbox, and you have that flight suit. Man, it's just awesome.
So just chaos.
Yep. Chaos. Yes.
So I guess the selling point was flying into a tornado, was it, or something like that in the trailer? I
don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do in there.
I saw that and I was like, okay, kind of got my attention. I'll play that. That comes
they can just have a bunch of flying and exploding stuff, and it doesn't even matter.
Just like a crazy action film. Just everything in the kitchen sink.
It was Expendables 5. Wait, 4? Which one? How many Expendables are there? 4?
So that would be 4.
4, yeah. Without Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
Yeah.
That comes out on December 4th, if anyone's interested.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, Just Cause?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you thought Expendables.
No, Expendables. Then there was Babylon's Fall, which is from Platinum Games. I didn't hear a lot about that. Did either of you?
No.
I think it was nothing more than an announcement.
It's about everything that Square Enix. What their thing was only about 30 minutes, right?
Was it?
It wasn't long. They didn't show Final Fantasy. They didn't show Avengers.
Yeah.
Where were those?
I feel like Avengers should have been shown.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, everyone's kind of expecting Final Fantasy VII by now, but I guess everybody's lost hope. But the Avengers project was one of those things that they brought up, and then they just kind of said, "Yeah, we're kind of working on it, but we're not going to tell you anything yet."
Yeah, they showed that one trailer with the helmets and stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the last one that I had for them was called The Quiet Man. It was from Human Head Studios. Did either of you see a trailer for this?
Is it a horror game?
I don't think it's a horror game.
That'd be a great name for a horror movie, The Quiet Man.
It's a combination of live action and CG. Looking at the trailer, I was like, is this like really good CG or is it live action? And then the more you watch it, it's like, no, this is live action. And then they intercut it at some point with gameplay that goes into full CG. So it was a very interesting trailer. There wasn't a whole lot that really gave me an understanding as to what it is, other than maybe like a beat 'em up of some sort. But it did. I think one thing that they mentioned is that it was a game that I guess you'd play in one sitting, so it's not going to be a very long game.
And you gotta be quiet while you're doing it.
Yes. Hey, quiet, because you're the quiet man.
Da-da.
He didn't seem very quiet. I think he spoke at some point.
He yelled a little.
Maybe not. I don't remember. I gotta watch the trailer again. I only watched it once.
I didn't either. I'm gonna have to watch it. I like the name.
Check it out though. It's it looks interesting enough to just say, okay, I'd give that a look. The next studio that I've got is Koei Tecmo. The only one that they seem to have brought up was Dead or Alive 6, which looks to have had a makeover. It's not as sexy as previous games.
I bet that's going to piss so many people off.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I mean, that's what they're known for, right? Am I mistaken about that?
Yeah, that's exactly that, and just like the voyeurism, it seems like, where you can just go around and take pictures of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, wasn't there even a movie that was just...
I mean, it's a fighting game, don't get me wrong. But
Sure.
But all of a sudden it became a volleyball game at the beach, and you could put them in a bikini and take pictures of them, and I don't know. It's Japanese, dude, so, you know.
So, yeah, with all this hatefulness toward women in gaming, this is where they're going to get even more hateful.
I don't know, like, that's just their culture. You know, Japanese don't care about their sexuality kind of stuff, so they're just like, they just show it. You know, it's like it's in the open, it seems like. But here it's like, don't look at that.
Mean, I would probably agree with that, but I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Outside of losing their sexy factor, there was a hefty roster of characters. I have no idea who they were. Outside of Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, he's on there?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, there's that guy, but I won't play this.
No, it's not going to make me play it.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Put him in the messenger. I'll play it.
Yeah. What about that game?
Where
Was
is that game?
there? Have you heard of... Jade, have you heard of The Messenger?
Which one?
It's called The Messenger.
No.
I don't think they showed
What is
it
that?
anywhere at E3, but we saw it at PAX, and it looked really interesting. It reminded us of Ninja Gaiden from way back when on the NES.
It's probably in like some kind of legal battle now because that thing was so much like it.
No doubt.
Not that it copied it or nothing. It just the artistic view.
Yeah, there was a lot about it that you'd be like, oh yeah, that's Ninja Gaiden, sort of.
Sort of.
Sounds really familiar.
Yeah. All right, the next one I've got is Bethesda. Their big announcement was Fallout 76.
And I'm excited about that game. I mean, they had so much cool stuff about it. What about you? You looking forward to it?
I'm excited for it. I mean, it's very different from what they've done before, and I think a lot of people are upset about the lack of story, I guess, that is expected from it, since it's kind of... Basically, the way that people have been describing it is that it's like a Rust meets Fallout type deal. But who hasn't wanted to explore the Fallout universe with friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always said it needs co-op. Not online, like an MMO kind of deal like they did with Elder Scrolls, but co-op would work perfect in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I guess my initial concern upon hearing that is, oh great, I'm going to have to deal with trolly online people now when I'm trying to do something like build a fort or set up some, and I just don't want to do that. But if there's some control as to who you're playing with, like if I knew for a fact it was going to be the three of us and we're playing Fallout together and I wouldn't have anything to worry about, I'm all in.
Yeah, you can do that.
I don't want to have to deal with trolls. Hateful
Can
people.
you?
Yeah, they said you could just launch with your friends. Even though they said that if you just go straight online in every server, there's only dozens of people, they said. They're not going to put so many people in one because it's like a wasteland. They don't want it to be overpopulated. And they said it's 4 times bigger than Fallout 4. The map is. I just can't. That map is going to be huge.
It'll be massive.
Yeah.
4 times bigger.
Yeah, that's the one was already big enough.
Yeah. Wonder how long it takes to
Yeah,
get from
I
one
agree.
corner to the next.
I don't know.
If you're at like a low level, you ain't gonna make it.
No, hell no.
You will never make
it. Get ramrodded by everything under the
A
sun.
bee will kill your ass. Like every time a bee killed me, like I'll go like I'm doing good. I got away from the super mutant, but then a damn bee kills me.
Let's see, what else do they have? There was an announcement for a game called Starfield.
Yeah, that was pretty much just the
Very
logo.
interesting.
Yeah, outside of the announcement trailer, I guess it was rumored to be a first-person shooter RPG hybrid.
I'm all in.
So, I'm curious.
Kind of like Cyberpunk's gonna be.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just jumping
Yeah,
the guy.
you're
I'm
jumping
jumping
ahead.
I'm jumping. Sorry.
There was the Rage 2.
Looks awesome.
Come
I
on.
love the first one.
I want to play that.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea. I looked at it and I was like, this looks like another first-person shooter.
It is.
Tell me what I have. Why would I want to play this game?
Did you play the first one? The first Rage?
No, and I want to play the second one.
Yeah, the first one, like the
That
first half of
trailer
that
looks like
game,
fun.
the first half of Rage was so good, and then the way they ended I don't know, the first half, like you get to this like big area or this big part, you do the little task or whatever it is, and then it's like, okay, we got to hurry up and finish this game, so let's go. And then the ending is so terrible. But other than that, that game was awesome. The shooting, and it looks like they brought the good parts over to part 2, so that excites me.
Now, if you're excited, you can get yourself a collector's edition for the game that comes with a singing mutant's head.
I do. Did you see the way they showed it during the
God.
gameplay trailer?
No, I didn't.
It was like there was a TV laying on the ground, and there was a shootout going on, and your character like leaned down, or it was either your character or one of the people you're shooting at, and all of a sudden the TV came on and it said, "You can get this, hang it on your wall. It sings only $99.99." You know, like it was crazy.
Well, I heard
Ridiculous.
the price was $120.
Oh, maybe that's what they said. $128.99 or some crap. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'd buy it.
yeah,
if I had the money.
I could see you buying
Yeah.
it. All right. Then we had, or they whipped out the old Elder Scrolls announcements. They had 3 of them. We had the Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a strategy card game. with
If it's
no
like
release
Gwent, I mean,
Probably is. I mean, I'm not familiar with Elder Scrolls at all. So, is there a card game in the game?
I have
anywhere
no,
like that?
I don't know. I
No?
don't remember it from.
It's not in the game. It's like Hearthstone. Like it's an extra
okay.
thing.
That does ring a bell. Okay, Hearthstone.
Why hadn't Gwent become an app where you can just play the shit on your
I don't
phone?
know.
That's just like a missed opportunity.
I mean,
It should.
it has a standalone.
It does.
it had like an app like on your phone.
No, I think it's just like a
yeah.
PC game or something.
No, I just
Isn't
want
it?
it on my phone. I can't. I don't have. I don't want to carry my computer around everywhere to play Gwent. I want to play it on my phone.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
PvP
That
with
would be good.
Yeah. CD Projekt Red. Mm-hmm. We thought of it first.
Then there was the Elder Scrolls Blades, which is a mobile game meant to tide players over until the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, which they announced.
And it looked good.
Yet no release date is known, just that they're working on it. So,
Pre-order.
yeah.
It looked good though. I'm
Yeah.
not lying. If it looks like that and plays like that, that's legit.
What are you looking for? What are you two looking forward in this particular game? Like, what would you like to see fixed? New?
What 6?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. I just a better story. Although like there's at some point in that game the story was great, but the beginning it took me like 2 hours to get into that game.
Yeah.
Maybe the controls just make it less clunky, I guess. Update the engine and just go with that because there ain't a whole lot wrong. Just kind of fix some of the bugs. Everything else, I really loved everything about Skyrim.
I agree about the story. I think I really loved Oblivion. I spent years in playing Oblivion and like exploring the NPCs and stuff. And then like Skyrim with the weird Civil War stuff, like I don't care about it. I have politics in my real life. I don't need it in a game. Like just let me play and have a good story. That would be good. And I think if they updated fighting a little bit,
Yeah.
I think they could make some improvements to fighting to make it a little cooler. They brought some cool stuff into Skyrim. If they brought some more cool stuff into the next game, I think it would benefit.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've
You've never played
one.
Skyrim?
Nope.
Dude, you would love that
No,
game.
I was just late to the party, and I've just not gotten back around to it.
It's
so
damn near the Game of Thrones game that should have been.
Okay. Fair enough.
If
Maybe
it would have
I'll
had
get
that
around
kind of
to it at
story,
some
you know,
point.
it feels like Game of Thrones.
I'll get around to it when it's way too late.
It's already way too late.
It is. So much
It's
later.
never too late.
You remember how I told you about Fallout, and then
Yeah.
you played Fallout 4, and you're like, man, I didn't, you know, it's great.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Okay. I'll get around to it at some point. Then there was also DLC announced for the game Prey called Moon Crash. It's available
pretty cool.
now if you're into that. I've never played Prey, but it looks
I haven't
interesting,
either.
I guess.
They showed off a mode. There's also a 5, I guess PvP 4-on-1 kind of thing where 4 people are mimics, and then there's 1 hunter, and they were just turning into everything in that game. Cup, spray bottle. It was crazy. And they was jumping out and scaring the hell out of this guy. But that one, the Moon Crash, was that it? Yeah, that's the one where you go to the moon, you got to escape it, but every time you play it, the world changes. Look pretty cool.
All right. And the last game that they announced that seems to be a big deal would be Doom Eternal, which is a more intense sequel, as they like to lay it out there. I still haven't tried the remake, and I'm kind of interested in playing that, so maybe I need to kind of get on that so I can check this one out too.
There's also with Prey, they can both go together right here with Doom. You said Doom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They both got a VR mode coming. Doom's already got one, but they've got I believe they got another one coming.
Jade, have you ever done VR? No?
No, I'm sorry. That's Wolfenstein. Prey and Wolfenstein have the
VR?
new VR coming. Okay. The VR for Wolfenstein is called Cyberpilot. It's like you take over these aircraft or something.
Okay.
And then the one for Prey is called Typhon Hunter, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the actual mode, the 4 versus 4 with the 4 versus 1 with the hunter, the mimics and hunter. Right. I think that might be what the VR mode is.
Okay.
Or you can actually do both, I guess.
I wasn't sure. I'd like to try them out though.
Wolfenstein's got a new game coming too.
I would like to try the Doom VR.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of intense, I think. Next company that I have is WB Games. They really didn't have much that they had to announce other than Hitman 2. That comes out November 13th. They showcased the Miami mission that they had, which I'm going to assume is like the very first mission you do in the game.
Yeah.
I wish I could be a little bit more excited for this, but the last game, I just didn't have the intensity for it like I did the one before that. It's just kind of like, it's fun, but I don't know.
Why do you think you lost it?
I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it. There was just something about the very first time that I really got into Hitman was Hitman Absolution. Loved it, was obsessed with it, and did so much to go back and really get all the missions, do them all the unique ways. But for some reason, this new one just didn't give me that same thrill, you know, and I'm not quite sure why. I mean, it seemed very much in the same vein, and everything was still good. It looked better, but I don't know. It just did not excite me the same way. So maybe this one might change that. I don't know. I might give it a go at some point. The one big disappointment, though, that was out of the WB is that Rocksteady was not there to announce some Superman game that everyone speculated.
Or just talk about whatever game they were working on. You know, why were they not there?
I don't know, and I think there was some announcement they had after the fact just to say, yeah, we're sorry we didn't show up. But everybody had this expectation they were going to be there, and there was going to be this big announcement. Everybody's like, Superman's going to be there. It's going to be big. And then they just never showed up.
They're going to come to Comic-Con and do it.
That would be a more appropriate spot, I think. But I don't know. I guess I was kind of slightly hoping to hear something.
Oh, I was too. I want a good Superman game.
Yeah. But I guess at the same time,
that would
I
be
wasn't
cool.
disappointed either that they weren't there.
Or Aquaman game. Whichever one you want to do.
Aquaman. Let's do Aquaman. We've had Superman before.
Do that story where he loses his
And go
arm.
for an Aquaman game.
Yeah. Make a completely underwater world. That you can just
and it'd
swim
be
around.
Jason Momoa and all his sexiness.
That's right. Just think about it. All right. Next company we've got, big company, Microsoft.
Had a ton of stuff.
Had a
Most
lot.
of them we've already talked about.
Yeah. We had they talked about their Game Pass. They're going to have more games, faster access to the games. I guess they're going to download faster when they're available. Again, I guess if you're already in on this, you're still going to be in on it. I really don't know if there's much more they can do to sell the idea.
Oh, but they
it does
doing
sound good. But they did. They kept pitching.
Oh yeah, every time you turn around, it was like, and you can get this on Game Pass. And you already said that. Like you just said that every new game that y'all have is going to be on Game Pass. Why you got to keep telling us?
We understand this.
Yeah.
So, but then they had their big announcements. One being Halo Infinite, which they had announcement trailer for that, which is an assumed 2019 release date. What the assumption is at this point.
It's a brand new engine called Slipspace.
So, what do you, Jade? You look like you're really excited for. What are you expecting from this game? What do you want from this game?
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea what to expect. Ever since, I was a huge Halo fan for Halo 1 through 3. Once 343 took over, it's been kind of strange.
Right.
But the theory is that it might be an open world.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool. And I get excited no matter what. Even if I haven't, 4 and 5 were meh, but I'm still excited for Halo because Halo just holds a special place in my heart. The story is just so good, and I love the characters.
Yeah.
It's like Resident Evil, like you have a few there in the middle, but every time one comes out, everybody's just like very hopeful that did they go back to their roots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few other release dates or releases that they mentioned. They had Crackdown 3. They just whipped out Terry Crews and his height.
Yeah.
February 2019. Then there was their Forza Horizon 4 release for October 2nd. They announced Battletoads, which no one seemed excited for.
Because they're going to screw it up.
Probably.
Rare is not rare anymore.
I'm curious nonetheless. We'll see. Then there was Cuphead DLC that they brought up, which I'm kind of excited for. I'd love to see a little bit more of that, even though I never beat the game because it was just continually stomping my self-esteem into the ground.
And your ass.
Then there was Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Looks beautiful. I want that game.
For Ori and the Blind Forest. If I've never got to play it, but
never played either one of them.
I'm in for it. I'm excited for it.
It's a good game.
See what else do they have? Tunic, which was a Zelda-esque looking game.
Yep.
No release window for that, but it looked interesting. We Happy Few comes out on August 10th, which has a very Clockwork Orange-esque look to it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a survival RPG, I think is how they described it. So I'm
intrigued
by it.
It also had that like a BioShock feel. Like not the gameplay, but this like the atmosphere, kind of crazy.
I agree. And then they had their big Gears announcements, as I called it.
Yeah.
On the show, 3 Gears games, but I guess not exactly what everyone was expecting.
Oh, dude, they almost had a riot in that place. I guarantee you.
You had the Gears Pop, which is the Funko-style mobile game. Then Gears Tactics, which is a turn-based strategy game. Then Gears 5, which had no set release date. But, again, here came that female lead and pissed everybody off.
Yeah, it pissed so many people off.
But why?
Don't know.
But why?
Doesn't Gears already have? It wasn't the last game a female lead?
Well, I think you could play as a female. I think it was like 4-player. I think didn't you play as Marcus Phoenix's son in the last one?
I have no idea.
I don't either. But I know there was a girl in it.
But it's it's the fact that she's front and center.
Yeah,
not a side character, not a front and center. I don't get it. I want to understand from those people's perspectives why. I want a genuine reason why.
A part of it too could be, and I'm just trying to theorize because it blows my mind too.
Sure.
But I've been looking for a character that I can relate to forever. I would like to play games that I can relate to, and maybe some people think that they can't. I don't know. Maybe they think that they can't relate.
Okay, well, I'm not a woman, but I can sympathize and sort of relate to a character like Aloy.
Yeah.
Who's living in a fantasy world that I have no connections to whatsoever, but I get where she's from. I understand her plight, and I get it. I mean, how hard is that just to put yourself into another perspective and say, okay, I can kind of get where this is coming from. It's just...
Exactly.
I don't understand.
I mean, Ellie's one of my favorite
people
characters.
Not wanting to put themselves in a different perspective. But did this issue exist with Tomb Raider?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know.
The only thing I don't like about Tomb Raider, because I love playing, I don't mind playing as a woman ever, because Ellie and Aloy, like I said, they're both awesome. But the one thing about Lara Croft is the way they did her. They make her kind of whiny sometimes, and I hate those parts. Like, I don't mind her being emotional, because I can understand a woman is probably going to have that time where she has those emotional moments. But she gets whiny, and I don't think that that's how she would really act.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you take a look at this point in her life, her just now getting into these situations, I think there's going to be a transitional period where she's like, I'm not cut out for this, to the point where she's like, I've done this enough times, I'm tired.
Yeah, but whiny, like,
I get what you're saying.
Mom, I don't want to do that. Bitch, you fixing to die. The plane just crashed. You need to get your stuff together. Let's go.
I understand what you mean, but I feel like they're looking at it from a perspective of she's never been through this before. What would somebody like that have to go through? Anyway, outside of that and this ridiculousness behind Gears, the one other big announcement that Microsoft had is they purchased up 5 studios.
This was big.
Yeah, this is pretty big. One was the Initiative, which I think they're brand new.
No, they actually formed them.
Okay, they formed them. All right,
Yeah.
so that's one. Then there was Playground Games. They're the ones that do Forza Horizon. Then there was Ninja Theory, which I think a lot of people worked on.
They've done what Devil May Cry and Hellblade. And the thing I read about that, which worried me, was this going to take away their creative control.
Right.
But they said the reason they took the deal was because they were going to give them full creative control.
Yeah.
So that's a good
I
thing.
think they also said something along the lines of they wanted out of the AAA machine.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So fair enough. Then they also had Undead Labs, with the ones that did State of Decay 2. And then Compulsion Games, who were doing We Happy Few. So.
And they did Contrast. Remember that game?
Yes.
Yeah, they did that one too.
So
kind of the same app, like, art. Not, I mean, like totally different games, but like, I don't know, just kind of has the same feel to me.
Yeah. So
Xbox is doing a lot of things to put themselves back on the map. I think for a long time there, they were like, who wanted to get an Xbox? They didn't have good exclusives. They messed up a lot of their social stuff, which is what they were great at initially. But the new Xbox came out with all kinds of messed up issues. And now they're getting these really great devs, and their Game Pass is a great thing for them. The selection isn't like perfect right now, but the fact that you can get exclusives. And they have a really, really big indie selection, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And that is one of Switch's like main things, is their indie focus. So like Xbox is creeping up, I think, and making a lot of good decisions.
Yeah, they. I feel like this is a step in the right direction for them. Let's just see how they handle it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Because we saw what they did to Rare.
Oh man, they just jacked those guys up.
I mean, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I don't know. Well, I'm willing to see what they do from here. So
I'm going to tell you what they did though with Ninja Theory. They talked me into buying an Xbox possibly.
Well, we got to see what they're going to present first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that, I have faith in them because they're such. I mean, Hellblade was one of my favorite games.
Mm-hmm. Now, the last little thing that kind of crept out, and I think they didn't really make it a headline or a big deal, but someone at Microsoft said there will be a new console in 2020 and that it will be multiple pieces of hardware. Now, what do you make of that?
It's going to be like a PC. You can upgrade.
Think so?
There was talk of that before Xbox One X and PS4 Pro came out, and everybody kind of just shut it down, so it wasn't talked about anymore. And I think now that could be the next step up. Who knows?
It would be something unique if they went that route, because that way it wouldn't be like the Switch. They're doing something different and unique to them for a console, and I think that's what each of these companies need to do. They need to find out what works best for their players and really amplify that to make it stand out. Because if I see Microsoft or Sony say, hey, we're going to do something like Nintendo's doing with the Switch. No, because they've already done it. You don't need to be that too. Be you. Do you,
Do you.
Sony
was already kind of doing it with the Vita.
Yeah, but Nintendo took it a step further and said, this is how you do it. And it was like, all right, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. But you have that somebody always goes first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Okay, outside of Microsoft, we had the next one we kind of brought them up already, is CD Projekt Red with their Cyberpunk 2077.
I am
These are the
so
people
in.
who do The Witcher. It's a first-person RPG. Trailer got my attention. It was actually said it's going to be a lot darker and raunchier than The Witcher, so that's interesting. Witcher's already kind of raunchy. And then I noticed that people gave it a lot of flack because it's going to be a first-person shooter. I guess people were hoping and assuming it was going to be like The Witcher.
Yeah.
So I don't care. As long as it's fun,
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Said it was really deep, so. They said it's not a first-person shooter. It is an RPG with first-person shooter elements, is what they said.
Okay.
So,
That's interesting.
yeah.
I think they could make Hello Kitty online, and I would buy it. They are freaking, like, they are just so good. You know already that whatever they put out is going to be good.
Oh, they take their time and do it right.
Yeah. I was, first game of theirs I played was The Witcher 3, and I was just blown away by it. I spent so many hours playing it because I just wanted every ounce of it, So it was really good.
You could live in there.
Oh, yeah. The next company I got is Overkill. They showed a new trailer for the Walking Dead game they got. Release date looks to be November 6th.
Yes.
They showcased the 4 main protagonists of the game.
I actually seen gameplay, too.
4-player co-op first-person shooter, seems to be. It's just so close to the idea we had them.
I do. That and World War Z's coming out, and they're all the same. Like, they're coming out in episodes of those.
We had a game idea one time, Jade, that we were developing years ago. And we're starting to see all these games have our idea, and it's like, this is disappointing.
They still don't have it completely.
No. We still have our idea, but we see those elements. It's like, man, so much like ours.
There's so many mechanics.
It's a
When I see them
sign.
do something, they don't. They haven't had it yet.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, good. That's not there yet. When I see it, I'm going to, like, my heart's going to break when I see the thing that I'm looking at. I'm not even going to say it because I don't know where to pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Somebody will figure it out. The next one was Deep Silver. They announced Metro Exodus. There was a trailer for that. February 22nd release date.
Everything's coming out then.
I noticed that too, yeah, because we got Days Gone was coming out that day, and I think there was something else coming out that day too.
Anthem.
Anthem, yeah. So that's going to be a heavy day. You have to take your
You're going
pick.
to be so broke.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've already started paying for Days Gone.
Let's see, what else? We got Techland. They announced Dying Light 2, projected release date of 2019. They seem to focus a lot on a choice system to where if you do good things happen in your environment. You do bad things, the whole world will start to burn. I thought that was interesting,
I did too.
But
Very.
I'm curious to see how that plays out because I guess you've seen choice-based games before, but I don't feel like to this degree because when they were starting to talk about it, I was like, well, yeah, but we've kind of done that. But when you start to see what they're talking about, it's like, okay,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's taking it a step farther. So I'm digging that.
I heard they showed the demo for it. Somebody played it. They said that when you go into this one area to fight these bandits that have control of the water, say you go in and you kind of form an alliance with them, then the world is like dirty and kind of grungy, and there's this whole black market of guns, and you can get all these cool ass guns. But if you go in and you kill them, then they said that the place is real clean. There's like a police force, but there's no guns. There's none of that black market, so you won't have that option. And they said that things are out of the way, so you can climb it a lot easier. Like the parkour is way easier through the town. So it's awesome.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in checking it out. I mean, I was a fan of the first one. I noticed that there wasn't a lot of zombie gameplay, but I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't really feel like that was a necessity for this game to sell the idea that they're going for this time. So
yeah, they also said it's not going to tie in with the game at all, really.
That's fine. So fair enough. I'm in. Like I said, I dug the first one. Devolver Digital announced Metal Wolf Chaos, which seems to be like a remake of a game that was made from Software. Which, I don't know, the game itself, I mean, I like Devolver and anything that they kind of put out there. It's always unique, but something about this game did not grab me. It was just
I'll grab you.
Get off me. Then speaking of From Software, they announced 2 titles. One was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. This was the game that everybody assumed was going to be Bloodborne 2.
I was on that one too. Looked like Tenshu and Shinobi or something combined.
It had their signature look for sure, but I wasn't quite sure what to make of it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like more of the same like Dark Souls and stuff like that. So something different. That's good. And then
Looks amazing.
yeah,
Very,
for
very
sure.
interesting.
And then the other one they brought up was Desireen. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Which is their PSVR exclusive. So again, has their look to it, but I think it was more story driven. It's not going to be action heavy or anything like that. So
It's a VR title.
Story rich game, yeah. So I'm interested. I'm down.
Because that's about all we know about it, really.
Yeah, it's just PSVR exclusive. That's
Yeah.
Then we had Capcom. They announced Devil May Cry 5, which releases in 2019. It looks to be a follow-up to the last Devil May Cry, which, funny enough, they didn't call 4, but I guess everybody assumed and called 4. Because I saw that argument. It's like, why are you calling this 5? It's like, well, it is technically the 5th entry.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they called the last one. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan in that.
It looked more in the vein of the older style of the games.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Then the big announcement was their Resident Evil 2 remake.
Woohoo!
It comes out on January 25th.
I'm super hyped.
It looks like Resident Evil 4 as far as style. I'm in. You didn't have to sell me beyond that. I didn't even know what it was at first. I was disappointed in myself for not pinpointing the trailer beforehand. So the next company that we had was Sega. They really showed nothing. They had Team Sonic Racing for a winter release. Woo! I'm sorry, I have no interest in that at all.
Yeah.
And then Fist of the North Star: Lost Paradise, which comes out on October 2nd. It's based off the popular manga. And I'm just not quite sure it's for me. It looks good, but I just don't. I feel like it's for people who know that manga and that story, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still remember the old Nintendo
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember that too. And then on the Activision side, they mentioned some new levels for Crash Bandicoot.
First level in, 37 years or something like that?
But it's a completely brand new level for the game. And it will come out on June 29th when the game releases on Xbox and Nintendo Switch.
Did I say 30? I meant like 27 years. I said 37. That
I
would
was
be
about
two.
to say, no, he's not that old.
It's 20. It's 20. Is it 27 years or something?
27 years would make more sense.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that. 17 years. I don't know. It's been a while. And then they announced their big Call of Duty Black Ops 4 release October 12th. I have no interest in this game. What about you, Todd? You want to play Call of Duty?
Yeah.
No?
I want to play it for the zombies. That would be the only thing I play.
Only for the zombies. Jade's shaking her head. I'm with you. I have no interest.
I love. You guys know I love first-person shooters.
Yeah.
I love competitive games. I can't wrap my head around the scope that they're going for. They said 1,000 players, I think,
What?
or something like that. Maybe Maybe that was another game that I think one of the battle royale games that was announced said 1,000 players.
Oh, wow.
And just the I don't know. Number one, COD hasn't made me happy for a long time. And number two, I can't see it.
No.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
As a battle royale, it's just like a bandwagon thing. They're good at what they do. Just stick to what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Next big one we had was Ubisoft. They had a few big hitters out there. Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Look good.
Ancient Greece. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have known it was an Assassin's Creed game until they said it was an Assassin's Creed game, because
Which is good.
they really gave no indication otherwise up until they said, hey, it's Assassin's Creed. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. So that's pretty cool. And I noticed that you can actually play as a male and female character this time around. So I thought that was an interesting addition.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Because what was a Syndicate?
Syndicate, yeah.
It was a trade-off. You play as them both, but alternate between the two.
Right. Now, I don't know, I guess I heard the differences between the two, how they look is pretty cool too. Like there's not like she's not a Spartan soldier, am I right?
Oh, okay. I didn't know
I don't
that.
think she is.
So what is?
I can't remember because Spartans didn't have women soldiers, am I right?
So do they have like alternate? Do they have different stories?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I can't
Romance
remember.
options.
Are there romance options?
Yes.
No kidding. I didn't catch that.
That is huge addition to their game, first of all. And, like, that's been a BioWare thing for so long. And for them to have that in their game is a very big plus.
Yeah, I noticed they mentioned something about dialogue wheels, but I didn't catch that there were romance options. That's definitely a new twist for the game. So, okay, interesting. But the game does come out on October 5th. So we'll see how that goes. I still haven't played Origins yet. So, and this is supposed to take place pre-Origins, right? Like this is before Origins even happens.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm almost positive I heard that. So, okay. The next big game that they brought up was Beyond Good and Evil 2, which had a very awesome cinematic trailer. Despite being a prequel, you saw some returning characters. Saw Paige, which I was happy to see him again. But then you saw Jade at the end. Not this Jade that we're talking to.
Yeah, she was in it.
Jade, the protagonist of the game, or the original Beyond Good and Evil. And I'm guessing she's evil or something. I'm not quite sure how
She's having a bad day.
Yeah. But again, it's supposed to be a prequel, so I'm assuming there's some backstory we don't understand. But Paige knew who she was, so I was just like, what is this? What's going on? I was confused. So...
A lot of people are feeling some type of way, too, about the whole hit record.
Yeah, no,
Gordon Levitt thing.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, too. There was a hit record collaboration that was going to allow artists to create content for the game. It was like posters and radio ads and music and all this other stuff, and people are not behind that. Now, to me, that sounds like that would be a really cool thing to do. It did to me when I first heard about it. I was like, cool, that's awesome. But what's the backlash coming from? Did you hear why?
People are not like the pot is only $50,000, which is really small for like. Basically, a lot of people are saying that it's spec work. So like people can make work and they're not actually going to get paid for it. Only the people that actually contribute are going to get paid for it, and it's collaborative.
Sure.
And so like a lot of time is going to go into this work, and $50,000 isn't quite enough for that. Not to mention, like Ubisoft has tons and tons and tons of money that they could actually pay artists to put in. I love the idea of having fan art go into a game.
Yeah.
But I do also love the idea of like paying artists and supporting them.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, in that regard, I can kind of see that. I guess for me, like when I'm sitting there thinking about it, like I would have absolutely no idea what I would even do if I was to draw up anything. But if I did, the idea that was in the game would kind of in my head be like, that is cool enough for me. So I think maybe they're looking at that from the same way. It's like, hey, your stuff is going to be in this game. People are going to recognize your art. That's your art. It's a way of getting your artwork out there into the world on more eyes. So maybe you can look at it as that way. But again, I can kind of see what you're talking about. The payday doesn't seem to be worth it in a way. But I don't know. I guess it just depends. So we'll see how that goes about. I'm sure that we've not heard the end of this story. Then there was Skull and Bones. Got a new trailer. Looks pretty sweet. 2019, 2020 release window is what they're talking about right now. So
yeah, they're gonna get it right and hopefully not go down the Sea of Thieves.
No, this looks 10 times more interesting than Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
Sea of Thieves had me interested at one point, but it just after hearing everybody's like this is an empty game, I was like, all right, well, I've lost my interest.
Yeah. The Skull and Bones is going to be like deathmatch style almost. Like they're going to have game modes, which I hope that they have some kind of like open sea game mode because then nobody would play Sea of Thieves at that point.
Oh, hell no. No. That's what I was kind of hoping for when I looked at it. I was like, yeah, this is just open sea, naval combat and exploration. That would be perfect. Then there was a Starlink, the Battle for Atlas. It's an unknown IP to me. I don't know if anyone ever has heard of it. Is it new, I guess? But there was a trailer showcasing characters from the game Star Fox that are going to be for the Nintendo Switch version. It comes out on October 16th for all platforms. Then they had their announcement for Just Dance. Comes out in October. They had a game, or a new update for the game For Honor called Marching Fire. Comes out in October as well.
That looks cool.
Yeah, the game itself looks pretty interesting. I think I've watched somebody stream it once, and I thought, this looks kind of neat. You know, I've never seen this before, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, it's like free for a week or something.
No kidding.
Yeah, on PC. They released it for free.
Wow, I missed an opportunity.
Wait, what game was it?
For Honor.
Yeah, no, I must have missed that too.
I'll have to
Be able to still get it. I think it's until the 18th
I'm gonna have to look
of June.
when I get home. Then there was the Division 2 coming out on March 15th.
I'm excited about that.
And yeah, I saw didn't they do like a gameplay trailer in DC or something like that?
Yeah.
I kind of tuned in and out. I was just like, eh.
You mean they did it at Ubisoft?
Or so, I don't remember where they did it. They did it somewhere. I think.
They did. No, they
Microsoft.
did it at Microsoft.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you're right. They did show that.
Then there was The Crew 2 coming out on June 29th, very soon. Meh. I have no
Meh.
interest. Meh.
Do the sound you did during the Sony conference.
What? What did I do? No, was it?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh no! All right. Then there was some announcements from Don't Nod. There was Twin Mirrors, which is a story-driven investigation game, as they kind of explained it.
VR.
Is it VR?
Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
Yep.
I didn't catch that either. Looks interesting. I'm intrigued. But the one I think I was a little bit more excited for was The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. That looked fantastic.
It did. It
This
really
is
did.
Heck yes.
Life is Strange spinoff comes out on June 26th for free, every console, which I'm just like, yes, free. Yes, I'm already in. And then it said that I guess the story and the characters will connect to Life is Strange 2 when it comes out.
Yeah,
So
I'm so excited about that
interested
game.
to see how exactly they connect, because I've heard theories from this side of the room to the other, so I'm not even going to say
What
they
about
are.
that side of the room? From this one
From
to
over
that?
there as well. So I mean,
Yeah.
it could be anything. But no, I'm intrigued by that. Life is Strange was a good game, and I've yet to play Before the Storm.
Well, it actually was not done by Don't Nod though, so that's
Right.
one reason why I was kind of hesitant, because I feel like Don't Nod's going to do it right, and this other person might not do it as good, so I felt like I could just skip it.
Right. Jay, did you ever play either one of them?
Yes. I played the first one, and I played Before the Storm. And you know, Before the Storm is good. It's got a good story, but some of the voice acting and pacing of it was a little off.
Okay. So
I'm definitely looking forward to Life is Strange 2, because I would like more of the really great stuff that
Right.
Don't Nod does.
I agree. Okay, and then we had the big Sony conference. They only really focused on a few big games.
They were
which
beautiful.
Was fine. Last of Us 2 is what they started off with. Started off strong with that. Showcase gameplay.
It was so nice, dude. I got chills.
Saw that Ellie is the main character. No
It looks so
Joel
good.
in sight.
I seen that. Yeah, she's the only playable character in the game.
I did hear that. Yeah.
So I'm okay with that though, especially seeing how. I just remember in that one level you played with her, and then that downloadable content. She plays great, because they actually kept it grounded where she's not going to knock out a 250-pound man without just a struggle. So as long as they keep that part, which it looks like they did,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to see if either of you two caught this, because I didn't catch it, and then someone pointed it out online, and I was like, oh, this adds a bit of mystery to it. Did you happen to notice that the bracelet on her girlfriend's arm as they were dancing was then on Ellie's arm in the combat section?
No, I didn't notice that.
Wow, I didn't either.
But I feel like that's a huge clue as to what is going on at that point, because does this mean that, I guess, the civilization or the group that she was with, did something happen? Now she's kind of on her own. Is she out for blood? I mean, there's so many different things that could have happened, but just seeing that bracelet bounced from two people who cared about each other. There's a lot of questions right there, but also clues as well. So I don't know. I'm interested. I'm very intrigued. Now, do you guys think that this was like the opening of the game? Pretty much is what we got to see.
I don't know. I have no clue. If it is, what an opening, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about representation. I mean, like Naughty Dog is doing just like fearless stuff right now, and it is exactly what the game industry needs, especially right now, like with all the trouble that people are having with female leads and whatever. Like Naughty Dog, they know how to tell a story, and they know how to back it up too.
Oh yeah.
Like, and not to even mention the power behind a game like this for just young girls playing video games.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're just a girl, nothing to be fearful of, or however the line went. Like, that is just amazing. I'm super pumped. I think it's great, and I'm excited to see it. And even the gameplay just looks so smooth, and the way that she was dodging and moving was like,
that back dodge was sweet.
Out of this world.
I thought, like, I read a bunch of posts after the demo went up, and it was people making a big deal about the kiss, and I thought that was just, you had to have that kiss in there, and it had to say everything they said. Like, her telling her, oh, they should be terrified. And when it comes around the head after the kiss, and then it's just this brutal just display of just what the game's going to be. And then swings on back around her head, and they finish the kiss. And it's just perfect. Like, just that little kiss meant a whole lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting on my nerves just sitting there thinking because I actually thought that this was the one game that no one had a problem with, and then now I'm hearing otherwise, and it's just like, come on, people, come on. There are enough games out there for everyone. If you don't like it, go somewhere else and shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm excited. I want to play this game. We've waited for this for how long now? 5 years?
Yeah.
Give or take?
Yeah.
So it's a long time coming. They've taken their time. They're crafting something remarkable. They didn't just, go out there and say, you know what, let's just tell more stories of them on the run or whatever. I mean, this looks like something completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even see a sight of a clicker, for crying out loud,
No, and I was thinking the same thing. Are they still there?
Yeah. And that if they are not, that adds yet more questions to the mix. It's like, well, what happened? I mean, we're talking about this. She was the survivor. She was the hope for humanity. So if they're not there anymore, then what happened? Was all this for naught? And that's huge. That's huge implications right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And just to speak to what you said a little earlier, you said, there's games for everyone.
Yes.
If you don't want to play it, don't play it. A lot of devs are setting a precedent and saying that too. If you DICE for Battlefield, they just said that, I think in an interview or something. They were like, if you don't like that there's a female on the cover, don't play our game.
Yeah.
And that is such a powerful statement in itself.
And I think it's a reinforced statement that needs to be made across the industry. There are enough games out there. Same with films, and we've seen that, female leads are getting these representation that's deserved, and even if it's a male or female lead, gay or straight, whatever it may be, person of color, it doesn't matter. Everyone deserves that opportunity to have a character that they can relate to that's not just some side character, that's not just some joke. So if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Find something else for you to do and deal with, because there's enough out there for everyone else, for the common folk, I guess, if you kind of use it, pardon the term,
Right.
Why not somebody for the minority? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the arguments and the hatred and the vitriol that comes behind it. I just don't. Anyway, maybe one day we'll be in a world where it doesn't matter.
Maybe.
We'll see. What else do we have? Death Stranding got a trailer.
Beautiful game.
Still have no idea what's going on.
More questions, but I'm in. I'm sold. Sold.
But I still have no idea what's going on.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Maybe
matter.
that's the point. You're supposed to just be really curious, and you are just supposed to be like, what the heck did I just watch?
I am intrigued. Don't get me wrong. I just still have no idea what's going on.
We're not supposed to until
It's
the
like
game
an
comes out.
acid trip. I don't know what's happening.
That's the way I felt about Metal Gear Solid 5 until it came out. You know, they had the whales and everything during the unveiled trailer, and I was just, don't know what's going on, but I like it.
Now, I did find it funny that they ended, and I was kind of wondering if anybody else would know, because I mentioned this in the theater, where they were showcasing the actress at the end, Lindsay Wagner. Do you know who that is, Jade? Any idea?
Are you talking about from The Last of Us?
No, from Death Stranding. At the end of the trailer, they showcased a new actress.
Oh, yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
No.
see, that's what I was sitting there thinking. I was like, I wonder who knows who she is. She was the Bionic Woman way back in the 70s. So I don't feel like anyone's really going to know who she is. And you're catering to a younger audience who really didn't grow up on that. So I'm like, well, why are you pushing her really exactly? Because everyone knows Norman Reedus. You know, he's your focus. And then they're just like, Lindsay Wagner's in the game. It's like, who?
That's who's in that picture, though.
Right.
he's
I'm
holding
just saying that was an interesting call to just kind of. I mean, having her in the game's fine. It was just kind of putting her name up there, like everyone should know who she is. You know, it's just
She's a star, damn it.
she is. She was back in her day. I mean, again, I knew who she was. I was just like, who? I guarantee you, 99% of everybody in this room has no clue who she is. So there was that. Then there was Ghost of Tsushima, which coming from Sucker Punch.
What do you think about that?
It looks good.
Beautiful.
It really looks gorgeous. The combat is where I'm a little...
Oh, I'm not. I'm ready for that.
Well, because it seemed very... Like, I'm not saying I want to hack and slash or anything like that, but there just seemed to be a I don't really know, like it was deliberate, you know? Like you
That's
really
what I
have
felt
to
too.
kind of lay out how you're going to fight.
Right. Now, when you play it, I think that's... Looking at it is not special, but when you experience, I think you're going to... When you experience actually playing the game, you'll see where... I think where it pays off.
Right. Maybe.
It seems Dark Souls-ish.
Yeah. So I guess that's where I was a little like... just in the combat sections where I was a little iffy.
I don't know. When they was fighting under that cherry blossom tree in the sunset, I was like, this is
It looks
beautiful. I
good,
damn near
don't get me
cried.
wrong.
It was so pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Wait and see when it comes out. I mean, I trust Sucker Punch. They've done some really good games, so I'm interested to see what they do with this.
I hope that somebody shoots a fire and arrow and like burns that straw hat off his head though. I didn't like the hat was distracting.
Yeah. Rest for Sony, there was Neo, then there was Trover Saves the Universe from I think it was a new VR game. I'm interested. Justin Roiland from Rick and Morty. Then Spider-Man. I'm already in. I'm sold. You didn't have to show me anything more from that.
I'll buy it right now.
Then I'm going to shoot down to Nintendo real quick. We had Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, every character in the game ever. So I don't feel like that's going to be, if you're in, you're in for that. Then they did Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Super Mario Party. It seemed like their usual fare. Nothing.
Super Smash Brothers is the only thing there.
Yeah, I think that was the only thing anyone really gave a damn about. So, but yeah, that was pretty much it. There were a few other games that I think kind of popped up here and there that piqued my interest, but nothing really blew up. I think Catherine Full Body from Atlas was the only game that I really wanted to see. And it got a little gameplay there, so I was interested in that. But anyway, no, that's our show. We want to thank all of our listeners for being here every week. Your love and support is greatly appreciated. And big thanks to our patrons out there who make this show and every show we do possible. If you're interested in supporting our show, head over to patreon.com/pencilandpaperproductions. Also, if you have a game you'd like us to shine a light on, or maybe even send us an email or two, hate mail, love mail, whatever you want to do, you can drop us a line at supermegacrash@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at SuperMegaCrash. Leave us a like or review on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube, or wherever you listen to this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Stephen White.
I'm Todd Stark.
Jade, tell everyone where they can find you.
I am JadeSilk TV on Twitter and twitch.tv/JadeSilk, as well as mixer.com/JadeSilk.
There you go, people. Go check her out. Give her a follow. Give her a like. All that good stuff.
All of it.
Join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then, game on.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.